In the leveling guide that I posted down in the pinned comments, you can go check it out at the end of this video. We're going to detail everything that you need to know to take a brand new level 1 warlock, even playing solo, and completely master the game of Diablo 2, breaking all the way through and eventually beating Hell Bale difficulty all by yourself. In this video, what I'd like to go through is explain the nitty gritty and nuance for each one of the skills, the best used rune words, the really important shopping techniques, and all of the other secrets that you would need to understand to be able to take on this challenge yourself. In the written guide, we will walk you through step by step, detailing every single skill point, every single attribute point, and every single path and decision that you need to make to be able to do this yourself. But in this video, I think that we can do a better job of explaining the how-to and the why things happen that just can't come through in a written guide. So go ahead and strap in. Let's talk about the Fire Warlock and its strengths, and then we'll start breaking down each skill. The Fire Warlock in Diablo 2 really breaks the mold of a single element caster in that they have a multitude of tools that they can utilize to be able to manage the various resistances and immunities to your fire damage that you'll find throughout your playthrough, especially later on in Nightmare and Hell difficulty. The build itself is a massive AoE clearing build, which in the endgame gets incredibly fast teleport frames and is able to full clear even all the way up to players 8 in high density, high value places, especially in the form of terror zones and terrorized acts that are going to be the mainstay of meta farming in the upcoming latter season. In addition to having amazing AoE clear and really good early game mobility via a pseudo teleport ability from Warping Blade, you also get the ability to bind and consume demons. This will further increase your damage, further increase how much enemy resistance you shred, and also allow you to add an incredibly powerful demon with an aura and multiple elite affixes to your kit to be able to better manage the onslaught of fire immunes in Hell difficulty. Let's go ahead and start talking about the various skills that you're going to be using on this build at the different progression steps that you're going to be using them and why, so that you have a better understanding of exactly what you need to do at any given moment when you're progressing through the build guide on max roll. Funnily enough, since the first fire skill doesn't unlock until level 6, and that would be Ring of Fire, we're actually going to invest our first few points into Miasma Bolt. Now the benefit of Miasma Bolt is that it's able to do damage in a small area, and it also does magical damage, not only on impact, but then damage over time, and these stack. It actually makes of the demon. While it doesn't seem that way on first glance, by far the most important skill in your kit is actually the ability to bind a demon. For example, by putting Unsummon on my skill bar here and hovering over it, I can show you Stone Jade. The most important thing about Stone Jade, the demon broodmother, is that she came with Aura Enchanted, and seeing this sickly green glow beneath her means that she has the Conviction Aura. Conviction Aura will reduce monsters' fire, lightning, and cold resistance, as well as their defenses, although that's not as important. The really important thing about Conviction Aura, though, is that you can actually get a high enough level from successfully binding a high enough level demon, where you're able to break nearly all fire immunities in the game that you actually have to deal with to be able to progress through quests and eventually beat the game. But even against monsters who are not immune to fire damage, Conviction Aura will still reduce their damage, and at full efficiency. Even at the base level where you could realistically, in the bind him, you gain spread and immunity. That means that this will further increase our damage. While it's difficult to understand it at this point, you're really going to feel this during your own playthrough. Now, the consume buff only lasts for about 2 minutes with the plus skills you'll typically get on your average playthrough, so that means that this is really important to recast when you're going to fight a big boss, and especially in the Ancients fight, which can tend to last for a minute or two. While Sigil Death is a little bit like putting a hat on a hat, its benefits will further increase your clear speed, especially once you've gotten past the leveling process and you're actually into endgame farming, like like doing your own cow runs. What Sigil Debt says is that it'll lay down a small area that whenever a monster were to reach 13% of its maximum remaining life, it will immediately die, and upon dying it'll explode like corpse explosion, except this version does pure fire damage. So again, a little bit of double dipping on the damage type here. Apocalypse is going to lay down a huge area of effect that after a short delay will explode doing fire damage. Now because it has both a cooldown and a delay, you're able to cast other skills during this, so there is actually a playstyle where you are constantly using all your various cooldowns and delay skills over one another to be able to get the best damage possible. The only time that you wouldn't want to play in this way is when you're fighting monsters who are immune, but Apocalypse can break. Apocalypse, this skill, is actually going to break fire immunity as
Greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many adventurers have traveled this way since the recent troubles began. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town.
Welcome, Outlander. Good morning. Akara has been like a mother to me.
I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye. I welcome you, traveler, to our camp.
This is what happens when half-elves are taken with demons.
Leopard's Cave! Get to the rogue camp!
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
You have risked your life to rescue Cain. For that we thank you. You must seek his counsel immediately.